Farmhouse sign, I've got this frame, first of all, which is a deep box frame, and I've got this from Hobbycraft. You can get these in all different sizes. So this one is an unfinished one. So the frame is just natural wood. It's got glass in it as well, and it has the deep box so that you can put items in there to make 3D pictures if you wanted to. So these are relatively inexpensive. I think I got this when it was half price. I know you can buy these from a lot of places. I think the Range do them. I tend to get mine from Hobbycraft, but there's lots of places that sell them and they are, you know, relatively inexpensive. Next, I've got this Coal Run wood dye, and I've got this in American walnut. So that's like a nice rich colour. So we're going to use that for the frame. And I'm just going to put that on with a sponge. I've used this one before. Do you feel it goes on easier with a sponge? And then I've just got some Dulux in almond white for my base colour. And then I've got a roller and my gloves as well, so I don't get in a mess. So yeah, so this is basically all we need to prep the frame. And then we'll head over to the Cricut to do the design. What's good with this, actually, if you didn't have any paint, you could just buy a little tester and that would be enough to paint the background. So you can get those for £1, £2, and you can try obviously different colours. This is just a paint that I've used before, so I'm going to just use that. This, I believe, was about £13, but you do get quite a lot in there. I don't know if you can get these in samples, but you could use a lot of different paints for this, but I do find this one was the colour that I really was going for. Gives it that nice rustic feel. So yeah, this is a good colour. I picked this up from B&Q. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the frame unwrapped, and then I'm going to remove the glass carefully. So we don't need the glass for this little project. So yeah, carefully dispose of the glass, or you could perhaps use that for a different project. But yeah, we don't need the glass, so I will carefully be disposing of that. So as I say, I'm going to open the frame. I'm just going to put this cardboard down just to protect my work surface so I don't get any paint anywhere. So we'll get this opened. You just need to prise the clips at the back to get the frame cover, to get the back off. So we want to remove that, so we're going to paint that. That's going to be the base, because it's nice and smooth. So put that over there. And then, as I've said, I'm going to remove the glass. This is the part that makes it 3D, so we do want that. So just going to remove that, and then carefully remove the glass, and then I will get rid of that safely. So then we're left with these 3 bits, so the frame and the back. So what we want to do with these now is we want to use the wood dye with the sponge. So we'll get 1 layer on that and allow that to dry, and then we'll paint the back as well, and then we can give that time to dry. So we're going to give this a coat first. So I'm going to give this a shake and get my gloves on, and then we'll give that a paint. What you might want to check for with these frames is sometimes there can be glue where they've joined it, and obviously the varnish and the dye won't stick to the glue. So if you just want to check the corners just to make sure there's no residue of glue, you can sand that down. So this one actually seems fine. So I'll just go ahead and just paint that now. Just going to open the window as well so it's well ventilated where you're working. Obviously follow the safety instructions on the paints that you're using as to whether you need to wear masks or anything like that. So I'm just going to put gloves on so that I don't get it all over me. Just give this a shake. I think these do come with a safety clip, a safety lock, so they have to press them to open them. Okay. So this it does sit on the sponge. See, I've already made a mess. Oops. Maybe don't put as much on as that. So just quickly spread that around. Try and do it neater than I did. It's okay because that will just wipe up. So all you need to do, I think you work quite quickly with it, so you don't leave any sort of harsh lines. You can see it's bringing out the grain in the wood. So it's already starting to look really nice. So you just want to go all over it. Try and just bring it out gently. Pour it out gently so you don't get too much. So we're going to paint the whole thing. We're going to do the front and the back as well, so that if you're hanging it on the wall, then it's all painted. Now this will soak in quite a lot, so it may want 2 or 3 coats, because being natural wood, it will absorb quite a lot. Just be careful not to get any runs. Make sure we've got all the bits. So you can see how it's already starting to soak in, so it's not ever so dark at this point. So I will leave that to dry, and then I'll go over it again. Just make sure I'm giving it a good coverage for the first one. And then, as I say, we'll go over it again. Okay. So that's it for the first coverage. So I'll leave that to dry. And then I'll get on and paint this bit as well. So now that it's all been painted, we will just put the 3D frame back in there. And we'll just pop those down just to hold it in. So we're going to want it to be 3D. So we'll just keep that in there, and then we'll take the back part and we'll go to the Cricut now and we'll do the design.
Baby, you give me eyes
So that's it all cut out. So now we will get to weeding this. So now we need to get the transfer vinyl to put over that, to take that from here and then transfer it onto the background. Then it's time to bring in the frame. So we just want to open up the little brackets. So we're going to leave this part in there because we want it to have that 3D effect. And then we're going to put the frame in, frame back in. So I made a bit of an error. Oh, I forgot about this hook on the back, and the hook is now at the bottom because I forgot to check where the hook was. So don't do that. Make sure you check where the hook is before you put the picture on, in case you want to hang it on the wall. I'm not going to hang it on the wall. I'm not going to hang it on the wall with that anyway, but that's obviously the picture hanger. So you wanted that up there. You wanted that up here. So if you're going to do that, make sure you pay attention and make sure that the hook is in the right place and you put the print the correct way around. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. That'll look really cute. I get some colourful flowers in a little vase to add next to it, and some colourful little Easter chocolates. And here's a couple that I made earlier. This one I made last Christmas. So these are really good for decorating your porch or just in your kitchens or anywhere really, but I tend to hang these outside on the porch with some other decorations. So I did a small and a large in this one. So obviously you can use different coloured vinyl as well, which looks really effective. So yeah, it's just an easier way if you're not really into woodwork but you want that rustic look, then painting these frames up yourself just gives it that sort of rustic feel. And yeah, then you can do the rest of it quite simply if you've got a Cricut. So no real woodwork involved, just some painting. I'll pop on the screen some others that I've also made. These are great to make at Halloween as well.